First time I remember feeling like I see myself literally on television, or at this point it was a music video, old late night music video, and it was Nina Simone. And I remember her being so just awkward, even, tall and tall, dark, and handsome, which is what she is. She was still, her features were always so spoken about, and she's such a beautiful, beautiful woman. But then she speaks and her voice is so deep and baritone, and it's like, you're not a woman. And I remember thinking that as a kid, you're not a woman. And well, that's how you identify, and that's what you are. And listening to her interviews and how she identifies with herself, her sexuality, it just made sense to me. And that's honestly the first time I remember identifying with, a celeb per se. And seeing the sense of what queer looks like on Black women, to be honest with you. Because, to my knowledge, she was a cis straight woman, but she's very queer to me, very queer. And queers. I grew up with her. I grew up with Maya Angelou is another very queer woman to me.
Yes.
Of color. Who else? Let's see. Those are my two tops. I'll leave it there.
I wish I had even one person at the top of my list of femmes who are well represented in the media, but they don't exist. Yeah, as I mentioned in the previous conversation, there's such a reverence for androgyny, which is coded reverence for masculinity, which even in the queer community, there's this weird fascination with masculinity, which, as I've said before, leads to femme erasure, which means there are no femmes being represented. And all over the place, however, there's so many articles and so many journals and so much press and publicity going to these androgynous queers and these mask of center queers. And it's like, cool, that's great that you all get that representation, but just throw all the femmes under the bus, why don't you? Because who do we have to look for? And even there's even femmes that themselves hold up mask of center people and androgynous people above all else. And it's well, wait, where are you supporting your community? And as a femme, you have to know that we get unseen all the time, yet so many are just praising more and more masculine center people and androgynous people.
I can't believe I didn't mention this in the previous conversation, but the reason for that is patriarchy, is because we see masculinity as better than femininity, and that's why it was always okay for girls to dress in boys' clothes instead of boys dressing in girls' clothes, because of course girls want to be men. Why wouldn't they? Everyone wants to be a man, but a boy wanted to be a girl. Why would you ever want to be feminine? That's so ingrained in our society because we live in a patriarchal society, but that's why there is femme erasure and why we don't have as much femme representation, is because we still view, we have an internalized view of seeing masculinity better than femininity. Even if we say we don't, it's internalized, and it's internalized for queer people, and it's a mess. But I forgot to mention that.
And especially that's something you brush up against a lot when dealing with transness, is AFAB trans people can do no wrong. But then navigating life as an AMAB trans person, wow, we're fucked. Because not only we're regressive, but it's just seen as no matter what turn you take, it's always wrong.
Yep. True fact. In terms of non-binary representation in the media, I wish I could say growing up I had a role model. Honestly, my role models growing up were Daria and Jane. I think those were the closest I got to non-binary queer characters. But recently on the show Billions, they introduced a non-binary character played by a non-binary actor named Asia. And I've never actually seen the show, so I don't know anything about the character, but I've watched a lot of interviews with Asia, and I really disagree with a lot of what they say, and it scares me that they are the representative for my community, because, as I've said before, there's an infinite amount of ways to be non-binary. There's no one right way to be non-binary, but the way that they're conducting themselves is that the way that they are non-binary is the right way, and any other way is wrong. And like, some of the things that have made me uncomfortable is especially the interview they did with Ellen, and I have a lot of problems with Ellen in the first place, but we'll leave those alone. We're talking about Asia, but like Ellen did the whole like, oh, they them pronouns, that's so hard and complicated. And instead of going, no, fuck you, Asia went, yeah, it is really complicated and hard. Like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, you say no, fuck you, do better. And then Asia went on to say and was like, you know, like, I can tell when people are maliciously misgendering me and when it's an accident. And like, it doesn't hurt me when it's an accident. And I was like, no, it still hurts. Like, I understand it, but it still hurts whether the misgendering is accidental or not. It doesn't feel good. Like, millions of people watch Ellen, and if this is their only representation of a non-binary person, they're gonna go out and think it's okay to use whatever fucking pronouns they want. And I'm not okay with that, and a lot of non-binary people I know are not okay with that. And we're in a really weird position where, like, yes, I'm thankful to have a non-binary person on such a prominent show, but do I want that non-binary person speaking for me? And I think the issue is, again, there are so many different ways to be non-binary, it's unfair to expect Asia to represent all of us. And I don't think it's Asia's fault. Like, they are allowed to be whatever kind of non-binary person they want, but I don't want them representing me because that's not the kind of non-binary person I am. And like, that's one of the reasons I love being an actor, is that I want to be the representation, I want to be a representative for the non-binary community, and I've been so lucky to portray non-binary and gender divergent characters on the stage, and that has meant so much to me, and it has been so validating, and we need more of that. We need non-cis people playing non-cis characters, preferably written by non-cis people, so that cis people can actually learn from people who have lived these lives and experienced these lives. If I have to see one more cis person play a trans person, I don't even know what I'm gonna do, because I'm already so mad. Like, I can't do it anymore. And representation is a problem.
Well, just give perspective, right? I've never thought of it that way. And even when the question was asked, you know, I didn't think someone who looks like me, right? It's someone that I look at them, they make me feel like I'm right.
Yeah.
Not at all aesthetics whatsoever. And I think that goes back to, you know, what we discussed earlier and what I shared earlier about body dysmorphia. I don't look at this first. It's really like, if, you know, this presence, this vibe, this energy that you bring around your body, around what you do with your body, how you design it, how you wear it, what you show about it, who you give it to, who you take it from, all of these things are queer for me. And that's how I identify with my queerness. Not necessarily because I'm so, I guess, used to passing. I don't identify with my body being queer. I am the queer one running this, you know, straight-looking vessel that I have to defend all the time.
Wow,
Straight-looking vessel.